Welcome back to NCHANZPLACE, and I have a very beautiful guest here, Miss Diana Prince. She's a premium format exclusive from Sideshow Collectibles. She is an absolute gorgeous, really beautiful. I really like it. This is actually one of my most anticipated pieces that from Sideshow since I think last year. I first saw her, I think San Diego Comic Con photos. She was just like very gorgeous, very beautiful. So I had to pre-order. Now she arrived just I think end of January. So she is an absolute gorgeous. Look at that. So before we continue, if you like the video, click the thumbs up and help me share with everyone. And if you like weekly pop culture videos, subscribe to my channel, The NCHANZPLACE. So before we go on the details of her, I think there's some information that is very helpful to everyone who likes her. So she's still available inside your website. You can still pre-order her or buy her basically because it's already shipping. She has an edition size of 2,500. That's the bad part for this piece. Actually, that's one of the bad part of this piece. It has a very high edition size and it has a price tag of 560 USD. So she also has like a height of 22 inches, width of 12 inches, and 10 inches depth. So it's actually a very nice cylindrical space. She's not too big. She's also just the right size for me. That's why it's in terms of that one, it's perfect for me. And she's also very easy to display as well, or basically integrate to your collection. And so basically, there's been a lot of, I would say, talk or disappointment in the groups that she didn't turn out really good. For me, at some point, it's a bit true because I really wanted her to be perfect. Just like my Red Sonja, I really like the sculpt of the Red Sonja, the musculature, the paint job, the expression, the details. I really like that one. So far, that's my favorite. How would say my favorite female statue. This one, I really wanted this to basically be like that one as well. So what was the disappointing part for me was that she didn't live to that level. I really wanted it. Unfortunately, there's some parts that I didn't like. I don't see first of all that there is googly eyes. I think some said that there's some googly eyes for her. I really didn't see that one. I do not know why some say there's a googly eyes. I really don't understand, but I really didn't see that in this piece. Maybe the eyelashes are here, and then the some white part of the eyes. I don't know, but it doesn't look like googly eyes to me. I'm sorry. What is bothering me though is that the skin tone or the paint job of the skin. So this was not that good for me. I really didn't like it. It's somehow like when you're in the beach, you wanted to get tanned, and this part was really red. I have to say that it was red. I know Sideshow always wants to add highlights and shadows in their paint job for lighting purposes and how to make the feel more like she's currently in hell and she's going down to hell. But it didn't really how would say go into that way, or the paint job was not that good for me. It was just too red, especially in the legs. Going up further, it's not that much. It's not that red. There are only some parts, I guess, the shadows and the highlights there. But other than that, mostly the skin tone is for me is the one that I was not really satisfied, and that's what made this piece for me not that perfect. I really wanted it to be that perfect, that the very nice skin tone. I'm not sure if I might, if I will have this repainted with the skin tone, but I think that I'm not sure yet. Anyway, my lighting here also, I also like red, so it's not that visible as well, but still you know that it's there, and it's not that, how I would say, it's somehow bothering. But again, she's still very gorgeous. There's nothing wrong in the face. I really like the face. And yeah, so far those are the only issues I found, or major issues. Just the paint job or the skin tone. So let's go more into detail with regards to the base. I really love the base. I really really like the base. It has a light up feature, and the paint job here is really good. I like how they made this red, and I also like how they made this very compact, and somehow even though how is it, even though it's small, it gives you a movement kind of feel because she's going downstairs. That is actually really good, and the light up feature is also very good. The sculpture also here in the bottom are actually very good as well. So going up further, the boots. I always want weathered boots. I would have wished that there are some burns here because she's in hell, but that's nitpicking. The boots are really good. They have that detail. They have some weathering as well. I really like that one. And going up further, again, the skin tone, that is a problematic for me. The skirt, the exclusive skirt, I really like it. I thought it's mixed media or something. I'm not really sure, but it's hard. It follows her butt basically, or her movement, and I really like that one, and it has very good texture and also paint job there. Really nicely done by Sideshow. I really like it. It does not really shine, which I always like. It gives a battle damage feel, you know. So the red here as well, I also really like. It's again, it's not that how would I say, it's not that red. It's not shining red. I don't like too shiny stuff. The gauntlets also are really nicely done. The skin tone here is a bit lesser red compared to the legs, so it's a bit okay. The shield and I mean the strap of the shield is also like I think it's a velcro in there being attached at the back of the shield, and the shield itself is very beautifully done. It has a very nice details. Look at that. Even the sword, look at that, really nicely done. And the hair is actually the strands is really good. I do see some, I think it might be due to the paint job, that there is some, how would I say, not really bubbles, big bubbles, but some not really, let's say, very thin slice of the hair or strands of the hair. It's somehow like sticking each other. I think it's the paint, the black paint, but nonetheless, that's a very minor thing. I still do like this one. Really beautiful stuff. And the lasso itself, this is actually one of the surprise that I thought it was like very flimsy or very like soft or something, or like really a rope or a thin thread or something, but it's actually very hard, so do be careful of this one. Just be careful because they're very hard. They can really push also. If not, if it's been, if this one of this lasso's been pushed, the hands also might fall off, so just do be careful about that one. The face sculpt, this is actually the winning part for me. She actually looks very gorgeous. Some say it does not look, the paint job of the face doesn't really look the same as what Sideshow has shown. I have not seen the actual prototype, but again, in terms of photos, that one is actually having a very nice lighting and everything. I did try to recreate that one, though it's quite easy. I'm not sure it's 100 the same, but that photo of the prototype, I tried to replicate that, and it's somehow, I guess, there. I think so. So it's not always that the piece looks bad. It's somehow like the lighting and the photography, how it's done, the exposure and everything, the colors as well. That's how also affects the photo inside your website. I did have some photos for this one, just to see the different lighting, using the phone, using the camera, using a nice lighting, using an ordinary lighting. So I got that one. I hope you can see that as well, that it's not that bad, and if you have a very nice lighting, it also complements it, because again, she has this shadows and highlights. Good thing it's not too much in her face, otherwise I would really complain because I wouldn't really like that one as well. But again, this is very gorgeous piece. She is very gorgeous, really good. I'm very contented actually. She's not perfect though. I really do wish it would turn out perfect. I'm not yet sure if I want it to be repainted, because I want to make the skin tone really better. But I guess this is it for me as of the moment. I'm still contented with how she looks like. So this is Sideshow Wonder Woman Premium Format exclusive. So for the rating, basically the only problematic part for me, or the one that I was not really contented, is mostly the paint job. So in terms of quality, quality for the paint job, I'm giving it 4.0. Others part, I really like the paint job. Is just that this part of the paint, or the skin tone of this one, and also some parts in her chest as well, and here is not that good. I really think it's too red. At some point, especially if you're displaying it with white light, you would really see that how red this is. If you're displaying it with like a dimmer lights, I think you might not have noticed that much. But again, it's still there. For me, it's still there. It's still a bit annoying, so that's why I'm giving it only 4.0 for paint quality. Color scheme or color, basically, I really do like. I like the reds. I don't like that it would have been like bright red. The red itself is really nice. I like that one. I like all the colors, the base, the shield, and everything. It's just that again, the skin tone is not that great, so I'm only giving the color as 4.5. For weathering, there's not much weathering. Unfortunately, again, I do wish that there are some burns in her boots or something, and maybe some part of her shield. Her shield is actually, there's no dents or anything or scratches. It's quite clean, but there are some, let's say, discoloration, color blending or something, and also her armor or suit, it has actually some weathering, so I'm giving the weathering only a 4.0. Regarding shadows and highlights, so this is actually related to the paint quality. So I think there's too much shadows and highlights in this one. That's why somehow it turned me down for that part. So I'm only giving shadows and highlights for 4.0. For paint, for quality sculpt, I'm really giving this a 5.0. There's no problem in my side. There's nothing. I really do not see any issues regarding sculpt, so I'm giving it a 5.0. Texture wise, I'm giving it only a 4.5 because this one is actually really nicely done. The hair strand is beautifully done. The base, the texture in the base is also beautifully done. So I'm giving texture as a 4.5. I take note, I also don't want this to be too textured. It wouldn't be Wonder Woman if it's too textured, but everything that is texture in this one is really brilliantly done. So I really like that one as well. For weight and size, it has a really good weight. I do like it. Again, it's small, easy to display, but the weight is actually quite good. It has a very good weight, so I'm giving weight and size as 5.0. Details and complexity, I'm giving it a 4.5. Again, I like the details. I like the shield details. I like the gauntlet details. I like the strands in her hair. I like how her suit is actually done, and also the details in the skirt and everything. The details in her face is really beautiful, so I'm giving details and complexity a 4.5. In terms of design, concept wise, beautiful concept. I always like concept like this, compact, but it gives you a flow of, let's say, movement. Especially like this one. She's about to throw her lasso and everything. Really beautiful pose. I really like that one. Plus the beautiful let's say light up feature, flickering lights, that is really good. So I'm giving design concept a 5.0. For displayability, I'm also giving this a 5.0 because it's very easy to display, very compact, really nicely done by Sideshow, and I'm giving it a 5.0 for displayability. Assembly, I'm giving it a 4.5 because one, I had a hard time, not really a hardest time, but it was a bit hard pushing this in. I think at some point it was still like floating like a few millimeters. I tried to push it in, and eventually it pushed in. It keyed in well. There's no gaps anymore. Still really good. But again, I had that problem, and also the hands. So these are actually very fragile, so be careful because this one, it can actually move, and it can move your hands and it might fall off, and because this is very hard, so one hit on this one, definitely this will fall, because this will not like follow your, or like fold, or let's say flow in the wind or whatever, but you hit this, this will definitely fall. So try to be careful. That's why I'm only giving this assembly as 4.5. Though it was easy to put them in, but it's a bit fragile though, so do be careful. Switch out and mixed media. I love the switch outs. I like the mixed media, especially this one. I don't know what this is, and also the skirt. The light up feature, really beautifully done. So I'm giving switch outs and mixed media 5.0. So there is actually the switch out for this one, the belt, Wonder Woman belt, and then that's just it. So I do prefer this one. It looks very classy, very sexy, really nicely done by Sideshow. So this is Sideshow premium format Wonder Woman exclusive, really gorgeous Miss Diana prints. Welcome to my collection.